Olivia obliged and saw Lord Babington's gaze wander. Truly, she understood. Was there anything sillier than speaking about one's singing? But the alternative was to burst into song right here in the ballroom. Ladies do not burst into song. But wouldn't it be funny if she did? Olivia stifled a giggle as she imagined it. Her mother's sharp elbow in her ribs restored her focus. No, she would never. But she thought about it. "Tell Mr. Parker-Jones about your embroidery, Lady Olivia." "I spend my free hours embroidering," Olivia said with a distinct lack of enthusiasm. "How interesting," the gentleman murmured, when really it was the very definition of tedium. Meanwhile, his attention was obviously drawn to Lady Catherine, who laughed at men's witty jokes, all whilst leaning forward to display her bosom to an advantage. Olivia had a very small bosom, which was always covered. Ladies do not flaunt themselves. "You mustn't speak so much of yourself, Olivia," her mother admonished, and Olivia restrained an exasperated sigh. Young ladies do not sigh exasperatedly. "Gentlemen don't care to hear about the trials of ladies," her mother carried on, contradicting all the conversations she'd just foisted upon Olivia and unsuspecting men. "You must ask him about himself. It is every man's favourite subject." Lord Pendleton did not disprove her mother. Believing he had found an interested audience in Olivia, he expounded at length about his hunting dogs, his disgruntled tenants, and the vexations of a countryman in a big city like London. Because ladies smiled prettily, even if they were dying inside, Olivia did just that. But her gaze did stray to her fellow Wallflower friends, laughing amongst themselves. She couldn't help but notice all the handsome young gentlemen who flirted with the other girls, who didn't have such overbearing mothers. Or a nickname like Prissy Missy, because of their exceedingly proper manners and conversation. Which was funny, because deep down she didn't think of herself as a Prissy Missy. She was a girl who liked to sing and dance, who wished to flirt with rakes and be kissed improperly. Unfortunately, the circumstances were never quite right for her to be that girl. She was too busy being a lady. "Is that punch, Olivia? Ladies ought to have lemonade only." Olivia simply handed the glass to a passing footman. Never mind that a gentleman had offered it to her, and her mother would have cautioned that a lady wouldn't refuse. Lady Olivia's third season, Lord Archer's library. At the beginning of her third season, Olivia's parents requested her presence in the library for an interview about her marital prospects, or distinct lack thereof. Truly, she was just as vexed by her single state. She wanted to be married. She wanted romance. She wanted a family of her own. But what could she do? She'd done everything right. She wore modest gowns, perfected ladylike habits, and bit her tongue from impolite or forward comments. Still the good husband and happiness she'd been promised eluded her. Olivia perched upon a settee. Her parents sat opposite. The room was hardly used. Lord Archer spent most of his time at his club, avoiding his wife and daughter, except for when grave matters intruded. "Olivia, now that you have finished your second season," her mother began. "Without making a match," her father grumbled, needlessly pointing out the painfully obvious. "After the investment we have made in your education." "We must do better during your third season. I have made a list of prospects for you," her mother said, handing Olivia a sheet of paper. "We shall spend particular effort to further our acquaintance with these gentlemen whom your father and I find to be eminently suitable candidates." With each name she read, Olivia felt queasier and queasier. If these were the good husbands she'd been promised, then she'd been tremendously deceived. If these were the husbands her parents thought her capable of snaring, then she was horrified. "Lord Eccles?" Olivia questioned, looking up from the paper. "But he is positively ancient. I'm certain he predates the flood." "Young lady,"